interview action. Jam is such a jerk. He wouldn't help me and help me come up with a good intro. So this is what you're getting. I'm Emma.
I'm Jam, and we are Treasure Hunt with us. Thank you so much for joining us this fun night. And
Who
we
let
don't
this
know how
guy
long
in here?
we
He's
don't know how
so
long we're gonna
crazy.
go. What's it called? Let's see. We are live. Let me
We
just
are
get that in
live,
there.
guys. We're so glad you're here. Oh, how many of you are reeling after this last week of JCB interview after interview after interview? I gotta tell you, Jam, every solve I have is blown up. How about you?
Not everyone, but what's it called? I mean, it's I was starting to think that the app trail box was in North Carolina. I mean, we definitely think a box is North Carolina. I was definitely thinking that, but now I am almost positive. Something he said 100% makes me think it's in Vermont. So
You think Vermont? I still don't think Vermont. See,
well,
this
here's
is what I'm
why.
saying. Tell
Here's
me.
why. I'll tell you why. Well, he gave two important clues. One being
Okay.
is the map has three distinct ways, and clearly on the map is
Right.
the trail and stuff. It's a big trail. It's a long trail. That would be the general far away. To me, that says that's obviously the one that what's there. But what else he said when he's talking about eliminating states, and he's like, well, yeah, when you eliminate the states and stuff like that, I meant the ones like in the Northeast, all those little states that when you find one there, it definitely won't be around
What?
any other little state up there is what I meant. And so in rewatching all these interviews again and again, you guys should all do that. That's what he said. And so for me, what's it called? That tells me it's definitely got to be in Vermont, 100%. So, and then of course, I'm now starting to think that would put the app trail, not the app trail, the Pokemon box maybe in North Carolina. And I
You've
say
lost
that,
your mind.
I
You need
say
to
that,
take that. That's blasphemy.
I say that 100% with Mr. 100% into Alabama, Bruce on the ground, who's just doing a brand new show. I'm going to put a link up for it called X Marks the Pod. He's Alabama or die, man. He is
Alabama or die.
Alabama or die.
I can see
Love
why
it.
he'd be Alabama way more than North Carolina ever.
Well,
But I would say
Carolina, that trip starts where? Which state?
it does start in North Carolina.
Where does it end? Oh my
North
gosh.
Carolina.
The one state he's in twice. The one
No, that's
state
true.
he's in
That's true.
twice.
And he does say
Yes.
circle back.
He does say circle
Don't
back.
forget, circle back.
Circle back. Don't forget.
But you know what I actually think? You know what box
Yes.
I think is in North Carolina? Because I do 1,000%, not even though that's not a real percentage, 1,000% believe there is a box in North Carolina. But you wonder which one I think
Yeah,
it is?
I think so too. You're the
The
past and
lion's
future.
share.
Oh,
It's
that's
his
interesting.
origin story. Come on, why would you put your origin story anywhere else than where you're, or
You
why
know
would you put
want to
the
know why I
largest
don't?
block in West?
You want to know why I don't? It's
Because
because
you
he's
hate
been
every
talking
solution I make?
because he's been talking too much about North Carolina and the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I don't think that's the one he wants found first. And he's talked too much about it. It's too much about it and stuff like that. I know what's it called. We're jumping in. We said we weren't even going to talk TTI. That's how
We're
good
not going
this
to talk
stuff is.
TTI. We've talked so much TTI recently, and it's funny because, like, I mean, I love TTI. I love JCB. He is our Bama, and that's Bruce. We're so glad you're here, Bruce. Captain Chaos.
Yeah, we're actually not going for a full hour tonight. What's it called? You got family in town.
Yeah, I do
So
have family in town. So my son is getting
yeah.
married, and don't laugh at this, boys and girls, but he invited me to his bachelor party because he's not doing that kind of crazy. They're going to do a pub crawl. We're going up to Asheville this weekend. Going to do some gambling at the casino.
Would it
Hang out.
really
I
be a
will leave.
pub crawl when you won't make it past the second one?
Whoa,
So,
whoa, whoa! They
what?
needed a driver. I'm sure that's why I'm invited.
That's true, actually. Yeah. So.
No, that's not true. So I'll be hanging out. His fiance is in town. It was an opportunity for our family. We actually literally just got in from dinner. We did an engagement party tonight.
Yeah.
I love this. Which one's in the Midwest then?
The lion's share.
What if that is the past and future? I'm just saying. After last week's
Midwest
interviews,
could be the Rockies.
everything is
So.
all of it's blown up.
Yeah. Oh, I actually don't have a shirt today. So because we weren't going I do have one more shirt. It's for the one and only the treasure.
Chad Bird.
Yeah, for Chad Bird. I love Chad Bird and
It's
stuff
funny
like that.
you
For
bring Chad Bird up.
trezor.quest, his there. Next week though, I was gonna wear it today, so I didn't have a spare shirt. That's why I'm not wearing it. What's it called? But I have my Kaka shirt, made famous by Rob Zeal, and I was gonna wear that today. But next week is Thanksgiving week, and I'm very thankful for Chad Bird. He's doing a completely free hunt. He's
And
doing
also,
all these.
Thanksgiving has turkeys, which are birds, which say caw.
Yeah, come on, you gotta let me finish. That's where I was going with that. Wow,
I
for
ruined
the
your joke.
bird man, for Turkey Day, I'm gonna wear my
Sorry.
caca. That's right. So,
That's
anyways,
hilarious. But
yeah, next week.
But I don't know. Oh no. Let me apologize. My house is full of boys. Literally
Yeah,
all
they
kinds of
heard
army boys.
birds. They heard
Yeah,
birds.
and anytime someone comes in the house, my dogs lose their mind. So
For
I'm
sure.
just sorry. But Jim, I have decided that I'm going boots on the ground for Chad Bird on the 12th of December.
That is amazing. That is gonna be a lot of fun.
And
And
when I'm done, so the 12th and 13th, on the 14th, I'm going to get in a plane and I'm going to come see you in California.
that's even better. I love that.
Oh,
That's
caw.
right. That is right. We are all about the Chad. Here's what we know about Chad Birds is that rock, because it's not. Are we talking about a container, a box, or a rock now?
It's
What's
a
it called?
geode.
It's a geode. It's Geo actually. He just got a new name by Davio. What's it called? It's Geo, the geode.
Really?
And yeah, and Geo. We're gonna go look for Geo. That should be a year-round hunt.
The geode.
So
Well, that's the thing is it's like we've been working on this kind of quietly in the background. We're not, there's a lot of people who put so much into us. We're not trying to like steal anybody's thunder or anything like that, but we've been working in the background and I've got a pretty decent solve. So
yeah.
we're gonna go take a peek and see what I can find. And then if I come back empty-handed, it'll be like
Oh, there
every
he
other
is.
time I've been up for everything else.
That's it. Geo.
Geo the geode. I love
This
it.
is the man who named it. Yes, this is the man who named it. I love that. So what's it called? Thanks for showing up. Yeah, 100%. That is the name of the rock, as I like to call it. So
The rock.
okay.
Well, somebody
Yes.
asked me what the name of Chad Bird's hunt was, and I'm like,
Trezor.
no, not according to me.
trezor.quest.
Do you want to know what I call it?
What?
Chad Bird hunt.
No, you got to say what it
That's
is.
what I called it. They're like, what's his hunt called? I'm like, Chad
This
Bird
is
hunt.
his hunt. This is his hunt. I don't even know where. Oh man, it's going so
effective
fast.
immediately. And to the person who's in this room who asked me, and they're in here so I can see them. It's no longer called Chad Bird Hunt. It's got an updated name, and now it's called trezor.quest.
No, it has an original name, not an updated name. The original
new
name and the
of
whole
Chad
name.
Bird's hunt is trezor.quest.
I mean, pretty much you could say Chad Bird's hunt, and everybody knows what
Oh,
you're talking
thank
about.
you so much for all your well wishes for my son. Listen,
I know.
my mama's
amazing.
heart is full that he's home after not seeing him because he was deployed. He's devastated. I actually have some of his military friends here. My other daughter is here. His fiance is here. Any minute, a big British kid's gonna walk in here, and I cannot guarantee he will not come run. James is coming.
I love James.
I cannot guarantee he won't just run in here and interrupt us and be like, "Hello, guys, I'm here from Britain, and I'll have to say hello to Emma." And that's how he talks, and it's hilarious, and they're so fun. But my house is full. My house is loud. It's the best thing ever. I needed it so badly.
Yeah.
But about treasure hunting and the new
really
name
quick,
of Chad Bird's hunt, trezor.quest.
Trezor, it's not the new name, .quest. He's also, you have until December 15th. He's having these side quests. And one of the side quests is you get to put up your Christmas tree. And I only say this because like we get our Christmas tree the day after Thanksgiving. So we are going to send our picture in that weekend, Thanksgiving Day weekend. But you have until December 15th. First place prize, 500, 300, 200. He's giving away $1,000 for you to send it in your Christmas tree. So he's got so many other.
Do you know who from our team has already got their tree ready to go and they're going to send in their pictures this week?
No, I don't want to hear it.
Casey.
Oh, really?
Her tree is ready to go. First of all, she looks like a Macy's.
You can't put it up until after Thanksgiving.
You're not the boss of her.
No, I'm clearly not. And stuff.
No,
to be fair, one time I had my Christmas tree up till like April. So
that wasn't like you put it up early. That was like you left it up late. That's
I left it up. I just kept leaving it up.
Is that the year of the
already submitted mine?
What?
Nice. I love that. I can't wait. I hope he shows a bunch of them because I love Christmas trees. I can't wait to see him. Oh my gosh, look at this.
What? Man. 8K? I can't believe yours is up already. No, I'm the worst. I didn't even decorate for like Thanksgiving. People decorate for Thanksgiving. I'm like, I'll make a turkey.
I love this. A Christmas cross. That was really cool. So I'd submit it. Who knows? I'd submit it. I mean, I
think you got to do it. I think especially Chad would love that.
Yeah, probably.
Especially with the new name of his hunt that just came out today. He's going to love that.
This is actually a major thing. Halloween's over. It's Christmas. It's
Christmas up.
Christmas time. Yeah,
So
I've
what?
heard
So
that a lot
there's just
recently.
there's no Thanksgiving. What about the
There's
Turkey
no
Day?
Thanksgiving. Well, we are going to be saying thank you so much to everybody here. Next
Yeah.
week we will go live. What's it called? I'll have my caca shirt on, and
Oh,
yeah, we will go live. And who knows, we might give some stuff away because we are
well,
very thankful
we are
of
very
the people
thankful,
here.
and
So
what better time to be giving things away than when you're thankful? So we're super super
the
excited
best
about
time.
that.
It's the best
Okay,
time. All right.
so a couple things, couple quick things. I want to say thank you to Eric from One Clue Short for having us on to talk TTI with him. It was actually the first time we were interviewed, to my knowledge. I can't think of any other time we've been interviewed. And you?
I don't know. I think no, I think we were on K Pro's show.
Yeah, but
Mike
that
and
was
K
a
Pro's
panel. That
Calazar.
wasn't being interviewed.
That's
That was a panel
true.
of people. I don't
Look at
think of that.
we
Hold on, what?
look at if we can help people out, and we love them because they're the nicest people, so nice,
There, yeah.
and they put up the best TTI stuff out right now. So
So
if you
fantastic.
go check it out, what's it called? I'll put it in here and stuff like that. But they asked us, hey, can you be on our show? I'd like to interview and stuff. And 100%, yeah, if we can help you guys out, we can help anybody out. We will always be there. So I'm
Yeah, it
gonna
was
put that
great.
up too. Yeah.
Well, and he's, I gotta tell you, one of the things you don't know when you just come on the show and you see the live and you're like, oh, they're live and they're having a great time. When you're transitioning from just being somebody who films and creates content to somebody who's now live, it's a transition, and you need to be on with people who've done it and people who are going to keep you moving. Actually, K-Pro came on our show in the beginning, remember?
She did.
And she
Yeah,
helped keep
which
it going.
huge
Yeah, she
help.
kind of
Yeah.
helped us teach us how to go live. I'm pretty sure we messed that up, but it was a fun time in the process. You
Yeah,
did win a book. You did win a book.
you did. Oh, here we go. I
Oh,
love
we
this is
love the misfits.
B&H, my D&D guy. Misfits love you. Misfits love you. Wow, 3 times?
Oh, three
Man,
times?
it's almost like he's a wizard, so it's
Like,
almost like he's casting a spell.
I
Misfits
know,
love
right?
you.
Well, B&H,
Thank you.
I
Thank
heard a
you.
girl knows that she might be doing some D&D coming down the line, and so she's learning about casting spells.
Yeah, and we
I'm not
love the
naming
Misfits.
anybody.
So we've said that all along. They're just a bunch of people that want to have fun hanging out together. It's not like they're like some people out like people make it
Oh,
out to be like a big deal of like negativity. It's not. It's a positive, fun thing. It's a group that just
yeah.
likes to have fun. And they like having fun with each other. So Theo here, Emma,
Theo,
buy
you're
your son a
so
drink
kind.
on me. That's really generous. Thank you. You do
We
not have
have
to
the
do
best
that, but thank
community
you. We will
here.
do
I
that.
really am
Yes.
grateful, and I will. And it's funny because like we chose a place where for his event where he could have fun. It was kind of contained. Like I didn't have to
Yeah.
worry about everybody. But those boys can drink. I'm just saying, those boys can drink. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be fun.
So okay. So yeah, like I said, thank you to Eric from One Clue Short. You talk about all these the misfits, and they're fantastic. Rob Zeal messages me the other day, Jam, and he goes, "Hey Emma, it's the morning, and I'm in your Discord, and we're all on cam. Can you jump on?" And I wanted to so bad,
On
and I was
Cam, I've never heard of that in
people were
Discord.
talking on cam, and I thought that's so cool. And so I
Yeah,
told
something
him
new.
I was in a meeting, but of course texting away. Don't tell my boss. And I told him next time they're on cam in our chat room to let me know, and I'll jump on cam with everybody too. We'll talk about what everybody's talking about. I don't even care. We'll talk about whatever.
Yeah,
What are
yeah,
we
I
talking
love it.
about? I did not say anything about swingers. That didn't come
You
out of
might
my
have.
mouth.
She might beep. I'm
Oh
ready.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
ready.
not, you ready? Yeah, everybody's waiting for me to swear. I have not sworn in
Yes,
weeks.
we will
It's been at
be.
least
We
two
will be
weeks.
reading a chapter tonight. It will
We
happen.
are going to read a
We
chapter.
are
I don't
getting
think
to
it
it.
has any swear words. I've read it many
I
times,
don't think
but
so.
it's funny though. So tonight we were talking about how we've been talking so much TTI, and we really one of the things that you don't want to get right into that right now. Do you want to wait a few more minutes? I
No,
did want to also
whatever you
talk a
want.
little bit more. I want X marks the spot. I want to know what day X marks the spot drops their videos. Oh, thank you, Katie Lee. You guys are so
Yes,
sweet. Oh
the
my gosh.
Giants,
Do you
rough.
know what
They got
day
it
of the
rough,
week?
bro.
Do you know what day of the
What?
week X marks the spot drops their videos? Because I think people should be watching it. It's very funny. Very funny.
What's it called? They're brand new. They've literally put out 3 episodes. They have a couple filler things, but because they meet people on the ground, they actually met up with JCB hunters. What's it called? So there's a little clip on that. But yeah, they're brand new. So I think right now they're still figuring that kind of thing out. I don't
Yeah.
know if they have a
Oh,
set day
nice.
or if they're trying to do once a week recording and it'll drop once a week. So
Right.
I'm subscribed and I got my notifications on, and that's how you do it. That's how you know
That's
when
how
they
you
drop.
figure it out. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I just like people to know.
Oh,
I
see,
love it.
not
Not
scheduled.
scheduled. That's
See?
okay.
I
We'll do it when we
nailed it.
do it.
I'm on
You know,
fire today.
it's like he
I'm on
knows
fire.
things, Bruce. I'm gonna have to hear how smart he is. Next, he's gonna say that he knew Chad Bird's hunt name. I mean, that's all that's coming. I think he's gonna pretend.
It does.
Um,
I'm on fire today. I'm just killing it with
so
information.
smart. Like I tell people how smart you are all the time.
Yeah.
But
At
speaking,
least once every 2 weeks. There we go. So we have it. At least once every 2 weeks. And they're dropping great stuff, especially about the
sure.
Pokemon box. They are all over that Pokemon box. I mean, they are
Well,
all over it. So they're
and
in
you saw
Indiana,
they put
Arkansas, Alabama. They're in all of that.
right. Well, and that's the thing is they all kind of have different perspectives. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that
I love it.
because, and we talked about this recently about how confirmation bias is our favorite. Well, we talked, you know, who we talked about this with. Confirmation bias is the most common bias, right? And
Yeah.
there's so many. There's like location bias. There's all kinds of biases, and we definitely have our own bias. And then we have our, you know, our thoughts and our opinions. And kind of what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about tonight is, how one thing that came from Jam is the smartest. Wow, Cake.
Cake said it. If Cake says it, it's a fact. You can take that to
Cake,
the bank.
you're out of my will, Cake. You're out of my will. And I was gonna leave you something so good, not even just like frosting or like a cake knife. I was gonna leave you something so good, but you're out of my
Cake's
will.
amazing. Cake's my
No,
favorite.
I
She's
love
great.
cake too. Okay, but no, but we were talking about something, and really it started because JCB made the comment about the Forrest Fenn box about how you don't even need the chapter, you just need the poem, right? And that was very
Yeah.
interesting, like the way he talked about that chapter and his thoughts on it and his lack of thoughts on some ways, things that did matter and did matter. And he's like, oh, you just need the poem, just like Forrest, all you really needed was the poem. I'll talk about that in a second. I have to breathe.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that right
Hang
now.
in there.
I keep. I'll go back to that. Let's talk about Justin for a second. So people are like, where is Justin at? Right? Where's Justin been?
Oh, we're gonna talk about it now.
Yeah, let's go
So
because Hunter
it's
Breed
actually,
asked, and we're gonna get
can I
into
say
it.
something really quick? So what's it
Sure.
called? I don't know if anybody's seen Calazar's show this week. They actually, in the middle of their show, I had no clue they were gonna do that, but they talked about Mike got a hold of me and he said, why are you implying that Justin had left because of us? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't. And then I saw what he meant. So basically he showed
Yeah.
me, basically I was like, because a lot of people thought that they left because of us or the Misfits, or that was right
Or
after
Cynthia or
Ben,
Ben or
Ben and
all the other
Cynthia and stuff
things.
like that. But here's the thing: I didn't mention Froggy or Mysterious Writings either, or Calzars, because that's not the people that people were trying to blame it on. So
Yeah.
or not blame it on, just wondering if that's why he left was
Right.
because of that. And what's it called? Yeah, I didn't mention Froggy either, or Mysterious Writings.
Probably
And
was
but
Froggy. You know that
apparently a
guy.
lot of people went to him saying, "Oh, that means he's implying you." So
Right.
I apologize if that was the implication. I didn't mean that. I also didn't mean Mysterious Writing or Froggy. So
Could you imagine if it was Jenny? Jenny might be the
no.
sweetest, most kind human ever.
Let's talk about
Which is
Justin
kind of funny.
Discord. What were you gonna say?
Okay, but Justin in Discord. Justin will be back. Probably sooner than you think. But Justin left Discord because Justin is launching a massive business and he had been working on financials and stuff like that. And like that stuff takes time. And don't get me wrong, the hunt is so important to Justin. And he really does always have his fingertips on the pulse of what's happening. And to Rob Zeal's point, he is so active on Facebook. But there's a big difference between being active on Facebook and being active in Discord. Because Discord is a whole other level, right? So the thing to remember is that he's going to be back. He'll be back relatively soon, and
Mhm.
you'd like he would like Justin to check his email. Well, you know,
He
put it
does
up
check
there
his
in the
emails.
event that he does check every email. So if he
Yeah.
doesn't email you back, I adore you, Hunt to Breathe, but it might
Yeah.
not happen.
He tries to have a life too. That's
He
right.
does have
He
a life
does.
too.
He
You
checks
know,
all
the
his
man
emails.
needs
Look
to
at
eat a
he
salmon
had to
salad.
he had to cut something out. It made sense to cut out
Yeah,
Discord. It's not our position to say anything, and he wasn't
yeah,
in Discord to say it and stuff like that. But
yeah, for
that's what it
sure.
is. He is doing a major project. I mean, I've been super
It's
busy lately.
huge.
People are like,
I
where
mean,
you
he was
been?
on the
I'm working on
UN.
3 major projects right now that I think are going to be pretty amazing. So I'm
They are
excited.
going
I
to
was
be pretty
actually
amazing. We
hoping
have
to get
huge stuff.
confirmation if I could talk about one of them, but I have not gotten a reply.
Do
So
you want me to message him too to see the person who you messaged to see if he'll
let's see.
respond?
Go ahead and try. Let's
Yeah,
see
I'm
if he
gonna try.
responds to
Let's see
you.
if he
He's in
responds to me.
trouble. He is in trouble. So
I'm so much cuter. Have you met me?
that's that's come on. If that's the
I'm just joking. I love
that's
his
not
wife so much.
fair. If that's what we're going
Okay.
by, that's not fair.
I'm
So
just joking. You're adorbs. You're totes adorbs. I actually sent somebody a picture of us when we were kids today, and they loved your velour shirt. They thought it was amazing.
good,
So,
good.
oh my gosh, indie song. I find
Oh,
myself
so
humming it
good.
all of the time.
Yeah.
And gosh, what great work she did there, right? That was so fantastic. Hold on one
Yeah.
second.
I can't guarantee that he's going to respond because he's really super busy. I mean, he's beyond busy right now, but he does read everything. So that
Yeah.
is good to know. He has gone through and read it And
But he
he
does
may not
check
reply.
all of his emails.
Maybe
Like,
he's
that's
not
the thing.
replying because whatever you said is too put you right on the spot. Who knows? I don't know.
Or
So
here's the thing. This is what I've learned about Justin. He's not in general going to
he
confirm
said
if you
that
are
I would.
exactly right, and he's not in general going to tell you if you're exactly wrong. He'll just politely ignore you.
That's true. They do
So,
suck you in there and stuff like that. So yeah. Indy can
okay,
sing. I know. Shocking.
so
She's
Indy
shocked me.
can sing. She's
Yeah.
fantastic. She is
All right.
totally fantastic.
Here we go.
Okay. I was just seeing if I got a text, and I did, but it wasn't from the person you were waiting for me. Okay.
Yeah. No response.
So back to what I was talking about, understanding like the different kinds of bias and stuff like that. We started to really break down over the interviews that came out in the last week the importance of understanding a term we want to call clue density. And
Right.
so, well, the reality is when John said, hey, the chapter, yeah, whatever, there's a chapter there, but the poem, that's what matters. And that tells you there's clue density within that poem, right? And so think about the time that we're wasting in open space, if you will, like where we're going down rabbit holes because we're giving value to an area that we think it has clues. It doesn't really have clues, or we're making up clues when there's already dense clues within a location, right? Does that make sense, Jim? Are you with me?
I have, yes.
Yeah. So we started thinking about it, and we started thinking about like what are some of the ways that we're kind of coming away from clue density. And as every hunt's going to be different, right? And some hunts are on hold for the winter if you're in a spot with snow, or and there's some hunts that are year round, but the reality is this is you have to ask yourself, are you making it too broad? And so that really drove me home to the fact that for us, our Montana Solve has a specific chapter in the book that I think of as having a tremendous amount of clue density. And so I thought maybe I would reach out to Justin and see if he would mind if I read that chapter online on our show tonight. We can't read the whole book, right? We can't do that. And certainly we
You
could take
can't
some
read any
excerpts
of the
here and
book.
there. You can't. And
Yeah.
certainly you can't. And you can't do any of it without permission. So that's the most important thing. So if you ever were thinking of reading even parts of it, you want to make sure you talk to him, things like that. But I just thought it was so important to really kind of drive home, especially for those of us who are in snow states, or even if you're in a snow state for JCB, the importance of really taking this as an opportunity to
Mhm.
refine your clues and determine where your clue density really is, right?
Yeah.
So we got permission to read a chapter from the book tonight online. It's me. I tried to get Jam to do it, guys. He said
No,
no.
nobody wants to hear me
He
read a
said
book.
no.
Yeah, let me just say, I know a lot of people always ask us about this. They looked at the JCB and they're like, "Man, you guys are really, going hard at him and stuff like that." And he seemed JCB, great guy. He was loving it. He had a great time.
Yeah,
We talked afterwards and stuff like that. He is such a good guy, good family guy.
he really is.
Cadbird, Justin, we would never do anything they didn't want to do.
Never.
The people that Justin was like, I wish he wouldn't be putting that into AI, and we helped out with that. Justin knew about. We wouldn't go against Justin on that. We would never do that. He knew full well what we were doing.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah. So don't worry about it. What's it called? Trust me, we'll never do anything that we're not supposed to do, which is include read a chapter. You're not
Exactly.
supposed to read a chapter. That's copyright. So
That's copyright. Yeah. So
yeah.
with his permission, though, we're going to read this chapter and we're going to talk about clue density and see if you can hear what we're talking about when I say there's an excessive amount of density of clues, in my opinion, based on my solve. You may have a totally different solve. I'm not telling you I'm 100% right. It turns out I have no container
Mhm.
in my hand, and certainly not a bronze tucker. Um,
Not
but
yet.
I have no
That's why
container.
you don't have the treasure, because you don't have a bronze tucker.
So
So
broken. But I do want to apologize in advance because I am not an amazing reader, and I did want Jam to be the reader tonight, and he's like, "No, it's you.
somebody
It's
has to
you."
work the buzz machine just in case. We don't know what you're gonna
This is
say.
a good chapter, and I think there's some other things like when I say that like this is a dense chapter. I mean, my book's written all over. I'm like, I'm gonna put this up here. I don't think you can really see it. I'm gonna read the Fitzwaters, and you can see that I'm like I put that it's in Dylan. You can see where I was doing a little time solving stuff, and I like had to have each paragraph marked, and then what I was underlining lines based on clock times. I got a little crazy. It was fun, like I said, rabbit holes, right? We all go down them.
Yes.
But yeah, so we're gonna look at this. We're gonna read this action and see what we get, okay? And tell me your thoughts. And I gotta tell you, no. I said it's not a bronze tucker.
No, that's I'm gonna
I
screenshot
would
that.
never, ever. Like
I'm
he could
probably
walk up to
changing
me in the
this
forest
thumbnail
with
with this.
treasure
Could
coming
you make a
out of
funny
the top
face
of
so
a
I
bronze
can?
tucker, and I'd be like, "So you
Could you
didn't
make a
find
funny
it?"
face so I can screenshot it and put it in?
Oh my gosh, he's the worst. Like the worse my face is, the more likely it is that he's gonna
Jam
post it as a
Bear.
thumbnail. I'm like,
That's fine.
he's like, oh yeah, that's the picture, that's the shot. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy.
Grape?
Okay,
Grape?
okay.
I'm sorry. Grape? Come on, bro. All
Oh,
right,
sorry,
here we
Ace.
go.
I'm sorry. You're about to be disappointed, friend. I apologize.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna read the Fitzwaters, and we're gonna read it really quick. It's not
Here we
gonna be.
go.
Oh, wait. I got the response to the text message.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I
What the
did.
heck? Oh
Go
no, he
for it.
did.
He said, "Sure,
Said,
sure, go
okay,
for
so
it."
everybody, one of the projects, what's it called, that I've been working on with the man Froggy, he's going to be doing a DVD YouTube video uh, campaign. It's going to be like a once a
D
week
and
thing.
D or DVD? D and D.
Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, and it's going to be a ton of fun. We are going to have so much fun with it. Who knows, you might have some special guests. You might have, you might have somebody who's going to make someone be dressed up as an elfin wizard, and we are going to have a good time with it. That is coming up.
The things
We're
that people do for the people that they care about. That's
It's
all
going to
I'm
be a lot of
saying.
fun. If you're into D&D, if you're not into D&D, you will be. You got to watch the show. It's coming up on Froggy's channel, Estes Quest. Now it really is. It's Estes D&D Quest. We're going to have to change the name of that.
Oh my
So,
gosh, she's gonna have to get it done. Okay,
yes.
so are
Here
you
we go.
ready? I know Ace is so excited for this reading that's not gonna be that great. Sorry,
It
Ace.
is.
Forgive
You're
me.
reading. It's always going to be great. We got
Oh,
this.
you're so ridiculous. Okay, so we're gonna read the Fitzwaters and then we'll talk about the clues. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all I've got to say, Ace. Okay, so the Fitzwaters. Now I'm in my own head. Okay, so each year, with the precision of Santa's elves, Grandpa Fitzwaters would mail us a Christmas tree. Not just any tree, mind you, but a genuine noble fir from the Northern Rockies, personally auditioned and cut by Grandpa. For us kids, this was better than any store bought gift. A fragrant, sappy ambassador from the wilds of the North, complete with the needles that would embed themselves in the carpet well into spring. Grandpa Wayne Fitzwater, my mother's father, was our living link to the wild corners of the American Rockies. A retired fish and game warden, he made his home on the outskirts of Dillon, Montana, where Blacktail Deer Creek whispered stories through the willows. Dillon wasn't and isn't exactly a metropolis, but for Grandpa, it was the perfect base for a man as rugged as they come, enough to make Captain Woodrow, I'm making words up now, guys, Woodrow F. Call envious. Every winter, post retirement, he'd hitch up his trailer and migrate to Tucson to escape Montana's bitter cold. He rolled into town sometime in early January, or late January, or February. It would have been ill advised to set your watch according to a man in his 90s who had the unrestrained spirit of a 20-year-old, whose stories of wildlife life escapades became our seasonal soundtrack. It was during one of these trips south that Grandpa spotted a wheel merrily rolling down the highway. A collector of all things discarded, likely a habit formed during the Depression, he was naturally thrilled at this find. Picture his shock when he pulled over in his trusty Jeep Wagoneer to discover this gleeful runaway wheel was a traitor from his own travel trailer. He stood there, slack jawed, as it made a mad dash for liberty, hurtling down an embankment before taking a dramatic plunge into the Snake River. There it went, floating downstream, probably dreaming of a new life as a Ferris wheel. Determined, he sprinted a quarter mile downstream and at the river's edge waded in, eyes on the prize. But it's prudent to note Grandpa was no taller than a fifth grader. The wheel, with the force of a wrecking ball, slammed into him, cracking ribs and sending him into an unexpected nap on the water. Floating along, unconscious, on top of the wheel, it must have been a sight to behold a mile downstream, where a couple of fishermen intervened. They rescued the pair, and Grandpa rolled his reclaimed wheel up to the highway and back to his vehicle. He mounted it back onto his trailer and continued his odyssey to Tucson. He arrived more battered than an old suitcase, refusing any talk of doctors. He was a walking testament to a breed of human they just don't make anymore. Back in Montana, Grandpa's world centered around Dillon, But his true stomping ground stretched into the surrounding wilderness. Beaver Head Deer Lodge National Forest, in all its untamed glory, was a core part of his patrol area. Flipping the pages, he was a fish and game warden. The land here is steeped in history like a tea bag that's been stewing for centuries. The Shoshone and the Bannock tribes were the first to call it home, followed by Lewis and Clark and the Corps of Discovery, who slogged through the Beaverhead Valley in 1805. Then came Sheriff Henry Plummer, who in 1863 perfected what could only be called the original side hustle. By day, he polished his badge and pretended to care about justice, while by night, he led a gang of thieves called the Innocents. They specialized in relieving gold shipments of their burden along the mountain trails that were already treacherous enough without the added excitement of armed robbery. While Plummer served as the sheriff in nearby Dillon, his true legacy would play out in Bannock, the gold rush town where his double life ultimately unraveled. Now, Bannock stands empty, its buildings slouching into the Montana soil. Local lore suggests there are millions in precious metals still hidden in those hills. To the north lies Coolidge, one of Montana's last gold boom towns. It was a place where fortunes were made and lost faster than you could say fool's gold. What remains is a collection of crumbling buildings, whispering tales of a bygone era. You can practically hear the echoes of saloon laughter and the clanging of pickaxes against rock. It's enough to make you want to poke about, just in case someone left a few gold nuggets lying around. My brothers and I spent countless hours traipsing through its crumbling structures, armed with more imagination than common sense. We'd return home covered in dust, our pockets jingling with what we swore was gold, but always turned out to be pyrite or just plain old rocks. Mom would shake her head, muttering something about raising a bunch of prospectors, while would grin and ask if we'd struck it rich yet. These were his haunts, after all, places he'd patrol as a game warden, where his own stories had unfolded decades before ours. Our real treasures were found in Crystal Park, where we learned to hear and understand the rhythm of the land. We'd arrive after each downpour when the soil, newly washed, revealed its bounty. The smell of pine and wet granite mingled in the air as we unearthed fairy dust shards and crystal chunks that felt like the earth's very heart. Our pockets, backpacks, even socks brimmed with glittering prizes. We were magpies, drawn to the sparkle, our eyes mirroring the crystal's gleam. Back at Grandpa's place, Black-tailed Deer Creek became my personal classroom in the art of patience. Those fishing waters taught me more about life than any textbook could. About waiting, about hope, about the quiet thrill of possibility. Each cast was a story waiting to be told, each ripple a whispered secret from the depths. The years I spent hiking and fishing the Montana and Wyoming creeks, lakes, and rivers are tucked away in my memory like pressed wildflowers in an old book. I can still feel the chill of the mountain air on my skin, the tug of a trout on the line as I cast into the big holes, crystal waters, the satisfying crunch of pine needles underfoot along the Jefferson's winding banks. And it wasn't just about the fish, though God knows I loved reeling in those slippery little suckers. It was about the stories that whispered through the trees, the ghosts of prospectors and pioneers who walked those same paths before me. Now, decades later, when that familiar scent of pine needles drifts up from our Christmas tree, I'm transported back to those northern summers, back to Grandpa's world, on the endless possibilities where every bend in the creek held promise and every trail led to adventure. His annual migration may have given us a rhythm to live by, but it was those northern moments that gave us something far more precious, a legacy of wild places and wilder stories, each one as true as the North Star and twice as bright. That is it.
I
So,
love that chapter. I saw people doing that. That's the reason we picked this chapter, because it just shows what a good writer is. I mean, I love this chapter. It's just so much. I love the descriptions. I love the feeling you get from it, and it's one of my favorite ones. So
What I think makes this chapter so unbelievably important, and as I said, clue dense,
yeah,
is that there's so many hints of the poem in here. There's whispering, there's,
rhythm, which is
there's
what we think has to
rhythm,
do with
right?
timing and stuff.
There's
So yeah,
he talks about the big hole, so it's hole, but also Crystal Park is known as the hole.
right.
So he talks about how this was his classroom. He talks about fishing. So all of these things and all of these places and all of these people. He talks about his mother. He talks about his brothers. Grandpa's here. So much stuff. The North Star is here and it's twice as bright. There's granite here. There's all of these things. This is a clue dense chapter. How we use those clues is going to just depend on what your solve is. But again, what we're looking for is the density of what those clues are and what the true meaning of them are when you're looking at ways to line it up and really find your solve. That and the fact that he talks so strongly about the pine needles and like he's drawing your attention to the details of the location and the ground and the smell and all of that stuff, not just because I've been there, do I believe that this is a possibility, but because you hear the majestic nature of the way he speaks about the location. It is hauntingly beautiful when you go there, and it is unbelievable the views. And you can imagine what it had to be like to grow up in that. And it's a beauty that I don't think you can really get in most places.
Yeah, 100%. Before I what's it called talk about that, Chad Bird, the,
Oh,
the creator of
Shadbird.
trezor.quest. I got my Kakash shirt for you next week, buddy. We all know the Shoshone because of Napoleon Dynamite. I bet you I could throw this football over the mountain for sure. They did something over them hills. Hope you boys don't mind change. I love it. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that, my friend. We really appreciate it.
You guys
I,
are so good to
I,
us.
what I love about this chapter is also is he talks about the patience, right? And I think a lot of people, especially a lot of new hunters and stuff like that, they're starting to get, oh my gosh, I haven't found this treasure yet. We all want this instant gratification. I think John just preaches it. Everybody preaches it. And now we're hearing it and stuff like that. You gotta have patience. Everything good comes with work and effort. If you get handed something, it's not going to be nearly as good as if you worked hard for something. And you got to have patience and keep going. And that's what we're going to do. So,
Well, for sure. And just like right here, Barry says this. Thank you, by the way, Barry, for your kind
mm.
words. But there's no reason to even shift gears, guys. The reality is we're in the greatest treasure hunting time since pirates, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
greatest treasure hunting time since pirate. There is literally treasure everywhere right now. And it's completely okay to be like, oh, I'm gonna look at this today, and tomorrow I'm gonna look at this, I'm gonna look at Trezor. We're gonna do whatever it is we're doing. There's no, it doesn't mean you've done something wrong. It doesn't mean that you're not committed to whatever hunt you started with. But what it tells you is this, is there's opportunity. And when opportunity knocks, you have a decision to make whether you're going to open the door.
yeah. If someone offers you the ticket to ride, you take
You
the
take the
ticket.
ticket. I've heard that
Yeah,
somewhere before. I've
you've
just
heard it
heard
once or
that somewhere.
twice.
Once or
Yeah, once
twice.
or twice. But the whole thing is this is the best time. And, we're looking for all three major treasures. And we try to do smaller hunts too. We were going to work on the one. So, oh, here we go. Chad, you do not have to
Yeah,
do that, my
Bird, you do
friend.
not have to do
So
that with us, friend.
I,
We are
I hope
here for
even
you.
more come online. Yes,
I
for
do
sure.
too. I do
Um,
too.
yeah, so what's it called? I don't know if you have time tonight, Chad, to talk. Sometimes he talks on I know you've been busy today, so I know you had a busy day. So what's it called? If not, we might head into Discord and talk some trezor.quest. So what was I gonna say? What were we talking about? Oh, the patience of it, blah blah blah. What you got? What do you think about
So,
this?
so what I'm thinking is this is like, so for me, when I'm refining my clues, because we both know that I'll be back boots on the ground. Well, I'll be boots on the ground in December for Chad Bird for
That's right.
Treasure.quest.
First one, first one,
First one for
boots on the ground
us.
for him. Yeah, we have a good location now. We're just trying to shrink it. So, but we
Right.
will be
So
December 12th.
we'll be there December 12th. I'm also trying to get something in either the end of December or the beginning of January for TTI for Pokemon. And then I'll be at the wedding. I'll be at a wedding in San Antonio, and then I'll be at the Treasure Con.
Treasure Con.
And then I'm trying to be in a different state every
Ooh.
week of February.
yeah, so if you guys want to go to Discord to hear some Chad Bird, we'll do that. What's called? We will not keep you that long. So you have a long day, 8.5 hours. That's crazy. So that is
So
crazy.
crazy.
So don't worry about it. You
So
don't have to stay
crazy.
that long. So, and if not, I'll be in there. I'll be talking some
So
trezor.quest.
kind to me,
So
Bobby. Thank you. Now,
2.4 just got solved. So we got to talk a little bit about that.
2.4 just got solved. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I also have to
Yeah.
understand it before I talk about it. So, there's that. But also, I've been working on our movie, and it's funny. I was sitting in church on Sunday, and there was parts I've been really like kind of toying with for our movie for for that side quest for Chad. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, and Lucas is in town, and I actually struggle to go to church sometimes without him. Like I'm all for watching it online, but I don't necessarily. It's hard for me to sit inside the church without my baby, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there with him, and all of a sudden, all of this divine knowledge just comes pouring at me, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, here's my story. Why didn't I come here 2 weeks ago?" So it's funny because all these things just line up in the moments that they're supposed to. Oh, Catherine, don't you worry. I have a story for us now, friend. I have
That's
got a
right.
story for us. So I was super excited to get all the way through that.
You be
Um,
sure to find me in Arkansas, Emma. That
I
is
will find
Megan.
you.
That
Well, and
is
that's the thing
Megan
I'm
right
starting
there
to think too is like when I go boots on the
from
ground in certain
X
areas,
Marks the Spot.
I might just start doing meetups so that all these people get together and meet each other in all these different places, you know?
Well, we're talking about then you're coming out to California and we're going to try. I don't know if we could do it, but we are going to try to do a California meet and greet if we can, in like maybe Sacramento or something like that. Just
Yeah.
something small where some local California people that maybe could meet up and stuff. I know Davio's coming from his area and stuff
I'd
like
love
that.
to
So
meet Davio.
right. So we're gonna see if we can make that happen. We don't know because man, this is just such a time crunched area. So yeah.
Katie Lee. Katie Lee, I do what I can. I sing the whole time. Let me tell you something. I love church for the singing, if nothing else. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me some Jesus too. And it was a great, great sermon this week. Um, but I will tell you, there's nothing that beats going and, singing with people. It's just so lovely. It's so, so lovely. I have a great time. But
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys are in the area, and don't travel far. Let's go. We don't want anybody to travel far, but we were like, hey,
yeah.
if anybody, there's a lot of people in California. So, and if she's going to be in California and I'm already in California, why not do something for on this side of the coast? Because we haven't really. It's been like
Yeah. Oh,
that.
for sure.
We've been all
For
over that
sure.
side. So, yeah.
Oh, Fortune Foundry. I'd be glad to talk about it. What would you like to talk about? Because we didn't want to keep
Yeah.
people too long. I don't want to sell somebody on myself, but I can tell you there's so much
Yeah.
in this chapter if we want to talk about it. I'm in. I'm in if you're in. Barry Johnson's in the house. Barry Johnson and I have been boots on the ground together in the Pioneer Scenic Byway.
Yeah. We
So,
read that chapter, what's it called? Which is our choice. And what's it called? For because we think it's very clue centric. That's what we were talking about. And that's kind of
for
why we
sure.
brought it is you hear this read to you and you can just kind of hear where the poem where you're reading through the poem. So that's why we were reading it and stuff. I think
Well,
most of you have done that and gone through that. So
sure. But you want to have some reasons why it feels clue dense to me. Let's get into it. Because I'll tell you, not only do you realize when you're reading Justin's readings, you really kind of hear the reverence, right? There's some people who get a different tonality to the way he speaks about them. I'm sure you'd agree with that, Jim.
yep.
So there's no greater reverence, including Grandma's hands. There's no greater reverence, in my opinion, than when he's talking about Grandpa Fitzwater. Like there's an appreciation for the kind of man he was, for the respect that he had for land and for animals and for nature. And so he's outrageously important in that respect, right? And so much of this is about drawing attention to all these things, right? And getting out there. And then you get into this chapter, and okay, obviously he's like, okay, my grandfather, he points out like he talks about the Christmas tree and how it smells and how he got it every year and how that sapling, right? But he doesn't really go anything deeper than that. But that's so important. Like, why bring it up if it doesn't have value, right? Why talk about the fragrant, sappy ambassador from the wilds of the north, right? You're drawing attention to the senses at that point. So that's part of it. And then he talks about the American Rockies, right? So, if you're tying together the Forrest Fenn side of it, that Forrest Hunt was in the Rockies, and we've heard all along about the American West, and it just feels like you're tying those two things together, right? And then he mentions specifically Dillon, Montana. Boom, it's on the map. He talks about the Black-tailed Deer Creek. it whispered stories through the willows. So it's like when you want to talk about clues and the density of clues, like just, I mean, we're only 2 chapters in. Sorry, it's time for me to go to bed. Gotta go. No, just kidding. That's what that alarm is for. Sorry about that. You
Yeah.
know, um, you know, it it's when you're reading through these clues, there's so much in here. There's so much in here. And then like he says some things that I just think are so unique. Like the way he refers to the wheel as like a Ferris wheel. It's like there's like what are the clues within the clues and how you're breaking those kind of things down. It's there's just so much here. There's so much here.
I agree. And what I like to do is I like to take all the like Montana chapters and the Arizona chapters and stuff like that and kind of just put them all together, read them all together. Which helps kind of they're very similar to me, feels like a lot very similar theories and stuff like that. When you read them, they have very similar ways of being written. So that's how I like to go through it. I like to look obviously for all the whispers, but no, I like to look
Right.
for everything that's possibly leading that could this be a hint towards the poem. So
Right.
anyways,
Well, just chasing rabbit holes, you couldn't be more right. So Jam and I grew up with our next door neighbor every winter did a Christmas tree farm. Every single winter did it.
yeah,
And I will tell you, even when I'm standing in my stepdad's yard, he just recently sold that house, I can still smell Christmas every year because they had a farm or they had that Christmas tree lot so many years. And so I couldn't agree with you more. But it's a weird the way he mentions it and then never draws back to it again, when so often he says things and draws back to the closure of it. So it's just an interesting little thing to be like, but why, right? But why? And then again in this chapter he's mentioning the rhythm and the rhyme, so it's going to be that rhyme totality. There's just so much here in my opinion, and you certainly don't have to agree with me, but what we're talking about is clue density. And how do you identify when there's a density of clues in a location, or in this case it's a chapter? Maybe it may be a whole book, maybe it may be a website. I mean, there's so many options anymore. Even if you're just breaking down the poem from the Forrest Fenn book of JCB's, if you know that there's clue density, now you can start to really dig in and identify how those clues create the location of where you're going.
for sure. All right. I know you have to get off. We really appreciate everybody showing up. I hope you guys all enjoyed the reading as much as I did because she's a great reader. I mean, I would listen to the whole thing. What's it called? We can't, obviously.
Right.
So we
Ideas on
appreciate it,
hold.
Justin. Thank you so much. That was very generous of you to let us do that.
Thank you,
We
Justin, as always.
yeah, we wanted to do that and
But next
talk a little
Wednesday
bit
we're
of
back.
beyond the map
Jam's
set.
gonna wear his cacaw shirt. We're gonna give a bunch of stuff away because we're so thankful for you. And it is a Thanksgiving weekend, and we're a week, and we're gonna make sure that we give a bunch of stuff away. I'm actually trying to put together something for December. We're gonna call it an all-day holiday giveaway, where we're gonna give away a bunch of stuff related to hunting and getting prepared for the springtime. We're gonna create a list. I'm trying to figure out a system of giving everybody tickets, and I'm halfway there to giving everybody a ticket. So stay tuned. There'll be more information on that. And then
Yeah,
don't forget
it's
Froggy's
going to be fun.
D&D.
That's right. That's coming up. That's not coming up until December. What we are filming a zero show to basically kind of introduce you to some of the characters and some of the people that are going to be doing the show with him. So, including me. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
Including you.
Thanks, guys. We
Okay.
appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.